Between 1971 and 1989, the quiet province of Udine province became the hunting ground for one of Italy's most mysterious and terrifying unidentified killers, a shadowy figure the media chillingly named the Monster of Udine. For nearly 2 decades, this phantom predator struck with calculated brutality, leaving behind victims, fear, and questions that investigators still struggle to answer today. While the total number of victims is debated, at least 4 have been officially linked to the killer, though some criminologists suggest the true count could be much higher. The crimes occurred in a period when Italy was already gripped by fear over notorious killers and extremist violence, yet the Monster of Udine stood apart. He was invisible, unpredictable, and impossible to profile with certainty. His victims differed in age and background, suggesting a killer driven less by a clear pattern and more by opportunity, compulsion, or a deep-seated psychological darkness. What made this case especially haunting was the killer's ability to disappear after each murder, leaving behind almost no usable forensic evidence at a time when modern investigative tools did not yet exist. Investigators studied crime scenes meticulously, searching for a signature, a behavioral fingerprint, but the Monster of Udine seemed to evolve, adapt, and strike in ways that resisted neat categorization. Was he a local who knew the roads and forests intimately? A transient predator passing through the region? Or someone who moved among the towns unnoticed, blending perfectly into everyday society? The lack of answers frustrated detectives, journalists, and a frightened public for decades. Despite the fragmented nature of evidence, certain chilling threads continued to surface. The victims' locations often suggested the killer knew the terrain of Udine exceptionally well. Some attacks appeared impulsive, while others hinted at stalking behavior, as if the killer observed his victims carefully before striking. The uncertainty surrounding motive and identity only added to the horror. This was not just a murderer, but a ghostly presence whose shadow stretched across nearly 20 years. In later years, renewed interest in the case brought modern criminologists, cold case analysts, and true crime researchers back to the archived reports. With today's improved forensic science, geographic profiling, and victimology techniques, the Monster of Udine has once again become a subject of intense investigation. Some experts argue that DNA evidence, if still preserved, could finally identify the killer. Others believe that the perpetrator may have died, moved away, or become dormant long before investigators realized they were dealing with a serial pattern. Yet, despite the decades-long pursuit, the Monster of Udine remains unidentified, a ghost in Italian criminal history. The case stands as a haunting reminder of how even in modern societies, a determined predator can outsmart authorities and vanish without a trace. With every new documentary, analysis, and reopened archive, the hope remains the same, that one day, the truth about the Monster of Udine will finally come to light, giving justice to the victims and closure to a mystery that has spanned more than half a century. If you are fascinated by unsolved crimes, psychological profiling, and dark chapters of European true crime history, this story will pull you deep into the shadows of a case that refuses to die. The Monster of Udine is not just a killer, he is a legend of fear, silence, and unanswered questions, still echoing across northern Italy today.